Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. So today's video, we are going to work out a paper 2. Because remember, for the exam coming up, that's January and June, you'll be getting a paper 1 and paper 2. And for private candidates, you'll also be getting a paper 3. You can search on my channel, that's private candidates, and you will find 3 papers on paper 3 that I've already worked out. All right, and I'm sure that you are seeing my screen now. So today's video is part 1 of the June 2016 paper 2. So I split up the paper in 2 parts. So I'm going to give part 1 with the first 5 questions and then part 2 with the next 4 questions, right? So part 2 will contain the 4 essay type questions. So this is part 1 with the structured questions. I hope the screen is large enough for you guys to see. So the first question is asking, define the term bigamy. So bigamy is a society where monogamy is mandated and a person who is already married enters into a second marriage without being legally divorced. That is what bigamy is. You can use your textbook or you can use Google to find a better definition if you don't like the one that I gave you. Next question says, state 2 factors that may cause newly married couple to delay parenthood. So this is simply saying, what would cause a couple to not have babies at a particular time, to wait until a particular time to have those babies, right? 2 things would be, 1, they might not be financially stable to have a baby, or they might not be emotionally ready to take on the ins and outs of having a baby. So those are 2 factors that may cause a newly married couple to delay parenthood. There are several other factors too that you could look into, right? Next question says, outline 2 reasons why emotional readiness is necessary for good parenting. First, you must understand what emotional readiness is. Good. So emotional readiness is to be mentally prepared to handle a new baby. So 2 reasons why emotional readiness is good for parenting. This is extremely important in being an effective parent, right? So the couple should be emotionally ready to deal with the lifestyle changes, right, that will occur when they have a baby. They must know what they can do and what they cannot do with this new baby or preparing for this new baby, right? Parent must be emotionally ready in terms of understanding child development. So they must know what is prenatal care, what is postnatal care. They must understand what the child will need to continue to grow and to develop into a healthy human being. Good? So we're going along good so far. All right, let's turn to the next question now. So next question suggests giving full details, 3 strategies which parents may use to encourage their children to communicate with them. So if your child is not communicating with you as a parent, here are 3 wonderful strategies that you could use to encourage your child to communicate with you. Whenever your child is communicating with you, you should give the child your full attention. Good? The next part of the question says, explain fully why each strategy you have suggested is likely to be successful. Many times students lose marks here because this is a 2-part question. One part says, give the strategy, then the next part says, justify the strategy. Many times students give and justify in one breath. If you notice, the answer sheet says strategy 1 and also the justification. So explain your strategy, then give your justification to support your strategy or to say why your strategy is going to work, why it is going to be effective, or why it is a good strategy. So 1 strategy, is to give your child your full attention while the child is communicating with you. The justification for this is that the child will understand that whenever he or she is talking to mommy or daddy or both parents, then the parent is actually paying attention to details, paying attention to what they are saying. Because one of the most annoying things that can happen to us if we are trying to communicate to someone and we feel like the person is not paying us any mind or they're not giving us their full attention, that can be extremely annoying. Another one is that parents should encourage their child or children to talk with them about their feelings and what they are thinking. So this should be a constant reminder from parents to child that John or Mary, you need to talk to me about how you're feeling, right? Or you don't have to go straight off the bat and say that to them, but you can ask them how their day was, right? If they had any challenges, if they had any victories. Don't focus too much on the negatives, but talk about the positives as well, right? Another important strategy is for parents to focus on body language. Not only body language, but tone as well as the words that the child uses, so that you as a parent can really understand what your child is trying to express. Because many times as humans, we don't say, but our body language also says, or our body language really expresses what we are trying to communicate, or the tone of our speech, the words that we use. So those are 3 good strategies. This is important because, as I said earlier, body language says a lot. Good. Let's turn now to the next question. All right, so we're doing good so far. Define the term culture. This is simple. Culture is the way of life of a people. Everything that a group of people does forms part of their culture. Next part of question 2 says, list 2 factors which contribute to the cultural variety seen in Caribbean music, right? 2 factors that contribute to the cultural variety. One main factor is our ethnicity, right? Because many of us, we come from different race because of our history. Because we know that the British was here in most Caribbean countries were once owned by Britain, right? However, the British, they brought Africans here as slaves, right? After emancipation, the Chinese came, the Indians came, then the Syrians came, and some other people came. So a lot of us, we are of different ethnicity, and different ethnicity performs different types of music. And this is also shown, right? In Jamaica, reggae music and dancehall is popular, but we have other cultures that have other kinds of music. And it's because of their ethnicity, right? Another one is our socio-cultural background. This influences our music and makes it culturally diverse. Because, for example, reggae is more smooth and mellow. Then we have mento, we have calypso, which is a more fun and out there, you understand? Then we have the carnival music, right, for Trinidad. I don't remember the name off the top of my head now, right? And then dancehall now it's a bit more violent and grimy. And all of that violence and griminess comes as a result of sociocultural backgrounds. Are we understanding, ladies and gentlemen? All right, great. Next question now. B of question 2 says, outline 2 reasons why, sorry, I skipped too hard. Outline 2 reasons why Caribbean musicians may wish to promote their particular style of music, right? It is important to many musicians for the world to experience their particular type of music. They think that it is of international importance that other cultures experience our music. So that might be an important factor. You understand? Another one would be, in terms of Caribbean musicians may wish to promote their particular style of music, is that it is lucrative and they know that they can make money off of it, so they promote it so that they can make money. Simple. Next question, C now says, suggest giving full details 3 strategies the Ministry of Culture may use to encourage artists to create music featuring Caribbean rhythm. Part 2 says, explain fully why each strategy you suggest in CI is likely to be successful. So 3 strategies the Ministry of Culture may use to encourage artists to create music featuring Caribbean rhythm, and then you're going to justify to say why it's going to be work, why is it going to work, why is it likely to be successful. Good. So you give your strategy and then you justify. So you see the space is there for strategy 1, and then you justify the strategy. So one strategy could be that governments could promote the importance of allowing the world to experience Caribbean rhythm, right? This is going to be important because with promotion, it is going to capture people's interest. And when an interest is there, then it is going to motivate musicians to satisfy that international interest or that worldwide interest that is there. Another strategy that the government could use to promote music featuring Caribbean rhythm is to give incentives to musicians who perform a track on a Caribbean rhythm. This is likely to be successful because once people feel as if they can be compensated for doing something, then they will be motivated to do that thing to get the compensation, right? Another strategy that the government could use is to get other international artists to perform songs on the Caribbean rhythm, right? This will make the Caribbean rhythm become even more popular, so more persons will be drawn to it. For example, if we have a Caribbean rhythm, right? Rihanna is a Caribbean artist, right? Shaggy is a Caribbean artist, right? They can perform. They are Caribbean artists, but they are also big on the international scene. So they can perform their music on the Caribbean rhythm and make the Caribbean rhythm become popular so more persons out there will know about the Caribbean rhythm. Okay, if you have any other suggestions about these, if you have any suggestions for the questions, you can also post them in the comment section, right? So remember to leave a comment while you're subscribing. Don't just watch the videos, but I also want you to subscribe as well. All right, we're now down to question 3. Remember, we're doing 5 questions for this video. This is part 1. Part 2 will be posted shortly. All right, so question 3 says, this is a little dialogue. Josh says, I have not voted for a parliamentary representative for my area for the last 3 elections. Stan says, I don't bother to vote either. The floating voters always decide the outcome of the elections. So question AI says, what does the term floating voter in the dialogue mean? A floating voter is a voter who is not politically aligned, right? They are not partisan. They are not a diehard, right? They don't pledge their support to any one party without changing. So a floating voter is somebody who votes for different political parties at different times. They don't just stick to one political party. Good. Next question says, state the term used to describe voter behavior shown by the 2 speakers in the dialogue above. The term used to describe what the 2 speakers were expressing is voter apathy, right? You can Google what that means, voter apathy. Next question now says, give 2 reasons why some registered voters may behave in a way similar to the speakers engaged in the dialogue, right? 2 reasons why a lot of voters don't want to vote or become disinterested in the political process is that many voters have been disappointed by politicians. So they have seen over the years that politicians promise things and they don't fulfill, right? Or they will say none of the 2 are better, so they're not going to vote because they're tired of being disappointed and they're tired of mediocrity, right? So they will behave in that way. Many voters too sometimes believe that elections are not free and fair, right? So they believe that it's a corrupt process and the winner is already predetermined. So they say, my vote won't make a difference. So it doesn't even matter. Question B now. Let's go back to question B. Question B. All right. So it says, state 1 problem that may arise when newly registered voters are not educated about the process of voting in an election. When new voters are not educated about the voting process, then they will make voting mistakes, right? Several things can happen. They can hold up the process because they don't understand, so they're taking a longer time than normal, or their ballot might result in becoming a spoiled ballot because they don't vote in the correct way, and then the ballot becomes rejected and is not counted in the final count. C now says, suggest giving full details, 3 strategies with the youth, which the youth arm of a political party may use to encourage young persons to vote. Explain fully why each strategy suggested is likely to be successful. So one strategy that the youth arm of a political party may use to encourage voters to vote is to say why voting is important. Just educate the masses as to the importance of voting. Why would this strategy work? If I am a registered voter, right, and I say I'm not going voting, if I don't know the importance of voting, when I'm educated, I would understand that many of my forefathers fought hard and died to give me the right to vote. And then my vote is important because I help to elect the government who's going to be a legislature, who is going to run the executive, and is going to create laws for the judiciary to interpret. So my vote is important. So that is why that strategy is likely to work. Another strategy is to promote that elections are free and fair and that they are not predetermined, right? So we're going to show evidence, right, especially from the international election observers who report that these elections are free and fair. They're free from discrimination and intimidation. This is likely to work because persons will believe that when they vote, their vote will be counted, right? Another strategy would be to tell young people how they will benefit if they vote for their political party, because the question says the youth arm of a political party, right? They may encourage persons to vote. So they can tell persons the benefits that they will get if they are elected to form the next government. This is like to work because people love when the government takes care of them and they can get certain benefits for the government. So if the benefits are lucrative, then chances are those voters who are contemplating whether to vote or not will likely vote for them, and chances are they will win and form the next government. Yes. So that is likely to be successful. I hope you are noticing that I'm giving my strategies and I'm also justifying my strategies, right? I'm not just giving the strategies and leaving them there. I am justifying them so that I can pick up my 6 marks. All right? So this says, the following table gives the life expectancy rates of 6 countries, A to F. Use it to answer part A. So let's look. So this diagram is giving the life expectancy rates of 6 countries. So country A, country B, country C, country D, country E, country F. So it's 6 countries, right? And look at the key. So the darkly shaded part represents the females. Lightly shaded represents the males. So for country A, life expectancy for females is 86.1. For males, it's 79. Country B, females is 85.1. Males, 79.4. Country C, 84.2 for females, 80 for males. Country D, 84 for females, 80 for males. Country E, 83.3 for females, 80.2 for males. Country F, 83.5 for females, F, 78.9 for males. So the first question says, name the country with the highest life expectancy for males. So we look at the diagram and realize that the country with the highest life expectancy for males is country E, because they are at 80.2. No other country has a life expectancy rate that is greater for males than country E. So you pick up your 1 point there. All right, easy does it. Next question says, give 2 factors that could account for the difference in the life expectancy rates for males and females. So this is require you to think. What would make females live longer than males? right? What would make ladies live longer than men, right? One factor that would make ladies live longer than men is that the ladies live a healthier lifestyle. So a lot of the ladies might be into nutrition, right? Eating a balanced diet and exercising, while the males probably just work, and not exercising, right? Another factor would be that traditionally, a lot of males don't like going to the doctor. A lot of males, including myself, we have a phobia for going to the doctor. So many times we develop lifestyle illnesses and we don't go to the doctor to check it out. So we have an earlier demise more than the ladies. Good. Next question says, state one conclusion that may be drawn from the graph about the life expectancy rate of the 6 countries. One conclusion that could be drawn is that ladies are living longer than the gentlemen. That is an outstanding conclusion that can be drawn. Question B says, give 2 reasons why the government of a country would require statistics on healthcare, right? Why would the government require statistics on healthcare? One is to see the types of illnesses that people are suffering from the most, right? And then another reason is after the government realize what people are suffering from the most, they can plan for these illnesses for preventative healthcare and also curative healthcare, so they can know where to pump the resources in healthcare and what they are providing for the people. Easy as that. So we're moving on quietly. Question C says, suggest giving full details 3 strategies the leader of a community group may implement to help members improve their nutrition and health. And then you're going to justify the strategy. So what could leaders of a community do to help members improve their nutrition and health, right? One strategy is to have town halls or an ad campaign, right? Outlining the importance of a good nutrition and good health care. This is likely to be important because persons who are in the dark will be educated to see why nutrition is important and how a good nutrition can help to ensure that people have good health, especially when they are getting older. Because many times people make bad health decisions because they are not armed with the information, they are not aware. Sometimes too, when people develop these lifestyle illnesses, they don't have the information as to how they should treat these illnesses, like what to eat, what not to eat, what they can wear, what they shouldn't wear, and so on and so forth. But another strategy would be to teach nutrition as a subject in schools. This would be successful because as early as primary school, students even can go beyond primary school and say as early as basic school, students will develop the knowledge of good nutrition and understand how good nutrition benefits the body, and also become aware of how bad nutrition also negatively impacts the body. It's not going to be successful because then they will be armed with the information and then they will be able to make better decisions. Good. Next strategy is that the leader of the community group could advocate as a pressure group, right, for the government to ban certain unhealthy drinks and snacks, right, especially in schools, right, so they can ban sweet drinks. That is a ban that is in Jamaica, so that's a good strategy that we can use. Ban sweet drinks in schools, right, encourage the students to eat more fruits and vegetables, right? Offer fruits for sale in the morning instead of the students drinking the sweet drink, right? They probably get a banana and an orange and a small bottle of water for a cost that they can afford, or they get a cup of porridge. Something like that that is more nutritious and more filling other than the sweet drinks and the fried snacks that are very, very unhealthy. All right, so great. So as I said, if you have any additional points, you can put them in the comment section. Let's go now to the last question for this video. Question 5AI says, name the main form of non-renewable energy used in the Caribbean. The main form of non-renewable energy used in the Caribbean is petroleum, right? List 3 ways in which forests contribute to the economy of a country. One of the main ways that forests contribute to the economy of a country is as a ecotourism destination, right? So persons who are into the natural environment, they can go into the forest, right, to go bird watching, right, or learn about flora, indigenous plants in a particular country. Another way is they could use some trees from the forest as timber, right? They could use it to make furniture and to make souvenirs. Some persons use the trees in the forest too to make paper for sale. Those are sometimes bad and contribute to deforestation, but they can contribute to the economy, especially in countries where they have large forests like Guyana and Belize, right? If it is done properly, then it won't be a negative or a great negative to the economy. Question B now says, outline 2 reasons why a Caribbean country may prefer to use more renewable sources of energy, right? We know that renewable means that it cannot be used up because each time you use it, replenishes itself, right? One reason, why some Caribbean countries may prefer to use renewable sources of energy is that simply it cannot be depleted because it keeps renewing itself. So we're going to always have it, right? Another reason is that renewable energy tends to be cleaner for the environment than non-renewable sources of energy. Question C says now, suggest giving full details 3 strategies Caribbean governments may use to conserve natural resources. Then you're going to justify those strategies again, right? One strategy that Caribbean governments may use to conserve natural resources is an education campaign. As I've said earlier, and I keep on saying, is that many times people don't conserve because they are not aware, right, of the benefits of conservation. They are not aware of all the disastrous things that can happen if they don't conserve. So what this will work, I'm justifying the strategy now, because if people are aware of the benefits of conservation and the disadvantage of not conserving, chances are more often than not, a lot more persons will conserve and preserve our natural resources, and in turn, preserve our environment, because we want our natural resources to be available for future generations to come. Good. Another strategy is legislation. So the government must put laws in place to prevent people from wasting our natural resources or damaging our natural resources. Good. This will likely to be successful because if people know that there's going to be a consequence if they don't conserve or if they waste, chances are they will try to conserve and limit waste. Good. Another strategy is, after you have legislate, is to enforce. Many times we have laws on the books and they are there, but the laws are broken on a constant basis because there's no enforcement. If there is enforcement, I'm justifying no, chances are people will not want to break those laws because they don't want to, one, pay a fine or go to prison, or sometimes they are charged a fine and also in prison, right? So people will stay away from that because they know that there is a major consequence. All right. So if you have any additional thing that you would want to say, remember to post it in the comment section down below. All right. All right. So that's it for today. So we have reached question 5. Remember that this is part 1. I'll be doing part 2 at a later date, where we're going to look at regional integration, communication, consumer affairs, and tourism. That's at another time. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Social Studies Wiz on Instagram. Also, go over to my other YouTube channel, that's Corey Fences, and subscribe to that channel as well. Thank you so much and have a good rest of day.